They've attacked us scores of times with no real pushback, except now, because our great president said enough is enough, and he has a great ally in Benjamin Netanyahu in the state of Israel. And now virtually every Arab country in the Middle East has joined forces with us. France has now sent a nuclear aircraft carrier, reluctantly, but sent it nonetheless. And they've also positioned some jets in some of these Arab countries to protect their bases. Britain, who's led by a real lowlife, this guy Starmer, they're actually allowing us to use some of their bases now under limited circumstances. Remember Reagan and Thatcher? Hand in glove. We could use their bases, and we did use their bases and so forth. Why would Britain do that to us? Number one, they elected a radical leftist as prime minister. And number two, the Islamist population has exploded. Do you know 15%, I think I read, of the population in Britain is Muslim? And you look through its major cities, starting with London, so are the mayors. And when I say Muslim, I mean jihadi Islamists of the sort that we are bringing into our country. Certain types of imams and scholars and professors and activists who are becoming mayors and a lieutenant governor and so forth and so on. Supported by CARE, a front group for Hamas in our own country. In our own country. So yes, Iran is an imminent threat. Yes, Iran was at war with us in a forever war for 47 years and scores of attacks and God knows how many murdered. And yes, President Trump is one of the greatest leaders our country has ever known, and he has enormous courage in doing what he's doing. Those who are trying to cripple what he's doing, those who are stabbing him in the back, we should denounce them. This country needs to be united. We need to defeat this enemy and get it over with. The Persian people are our friends. They're our allies. They are Western in culture. The Persian culture goes back thousands of years. The arts, science, physics, mathematics. These are an accomplished people. That country was hijacked by terrorists that used that country to advance its agenda. Didn't give a damn about its people, slaughter them, torture them, rape them, who cares? In fact, they pretend they don't exist. Cover your face, cover your head, and get off the streets when the sun comes down. They've had enough, and they have died in the name of liberty as well. That to me is also a moral obligation. If you can help somebody who's being killed or enslaved or tortured in your own life, if you can, you try. If it's 92 million people who are begging for help, and if we can help them without destroying ourselves, and we certainly can, then it seems to me there's a moral obligation in that too. So there are many, many reasons to do what the president is doing. What the president's doing is right for our country. It's right for our children and grandchildren in the future. God forbid if they had nuclear weapons 50 years from now and our children and grandchildren have to deal with it, and ballistic missiles that can reach our country, and they would with the help of the communist Chinese and Putin and the rest of them. The liberation of the Persian people is not only a moral obligation, it helps us too. Imagine a people who love us, millions, tens of millions of them, in one of the biggest countries in the Middle East. Imagine the benefit that has. And then finally, of course, what about the geopolitical import of this, economically and militarily? Mark, what do you mean? You know, when I was on Fox a few days ago and people were talking about this, I noticed nobody was talking about what I'm about to tell you. Now they are. By taking out this regime, in addition to everything I already discussed, China loses, again, one of its major providers of oil. Venezuela was one, Iran is one. that is a great detriment to their military machine. They need that oil. They need it to run its military. They need it to attack other countries. Now, they can do it without it, but they can't do it forever. They can't do it over a long period. There's effectively no oil in China. They import almost all of it. That's why for heating and air conditioning, they build about 2 coal plants every week. Every week. So they have to rely on Iran for oil, they have to rely on Venezuela for oil, and of course Russia for natural gas and so forth. We now control the oil in Venezuela. We will control, I think, the oil in Iran. And Iran and Russia will have been pushed out of the Middle East completely as a major geopolitical, military, and economic setback to them. And keep in mind, all of those who talk about World War III and hundreds of thousands of troops will die. We don't have hundreds of thousands of troops in the region. How will hundreds of thousands of troops die under the worst of circumstances? They won't, because this president is fighting a war under the Trump doctrine. I said there's similarities between the Reagan and Trump doctrines, fundamental principles. But you take the facts and circumstances as you have them and apply your knowledge and your strategy to that, which is exactly what the president's doing. He said, look, we sent hundreds of thousands of troops to Iraq. It was a disaster. It's not a democracy today. We're not going to do that. And he campaigned that he's not going to do that. But he also campaigned that Iran's not getting a nuclear weapon. He has said that his entire adult life. He also said peace through strength. He didn't say I'm an isolationist. He didn't say even if I believe America's existence is at stake, I'm not going to take action. He's built up the military. He's going to build it up some more. So all these people who claim to speak for him, they speak for themselves. They do not speak for Mr. and Mrs. America, for us. They do not speak for MAGA or the former Tea Party. They do not speak for constitutional conservatives. They do not speak for the Republican Party. They speak for money. Folks, if you enjoyed this clip and you want to watch the entire episode, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You can go to YouTube and subscribe, or go to Rumble and follow. And by the way, tell your friends and family too. I'll see you then.